It's brought to you by OneFootball. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring this video, and make sure that you go over in the top link of the description and download their app. It is fantastic, people. I didn't know there were so many countries, so many leagues for you to go and view information from. Latest news, latest transfers. You can also see all the latest updates and live scores when your team is playing. Yes, you can choose your preferred team. So for my team, it's Liverpool. You can see all the latest information on them. But not only that, people, it doesn't only go that far. You can go and see anything to do with teams in the Premier League, anything to do with teams in the Champions League, Europa League, any team across Europe, any team across the world. You can go and have a look and see how they're doing in their leagues and any news based on what their team is going through. Make sure that you download the OneFootball app, people. It is fantastic. And obviously, I want to thank them once more for supporting this channel. Make sure you go and support them because they support us massively. One massive big shout out to OneFootball again. And yeah, top link in the description, people. Thank you very much. So, the question I have is how long left for Fat Frank after he loses 2-0 by Brendan Rodgers? We're going to talk about it in this video, my friends, yeah? What's going on there, everyone? Welcome back to James Redmond TV. What a game of football that was. That's just take place, and may I mention, Leicester City top the league. Leicester City top the league. Leicester top the league. Leicester top the league. And the reason why I'm singing that is because it's better than Manchester United. What did I say? And without trying to go on too much of a rant, listen, my friends, you were far. Listen, I said it the other day to Flex when we drew the game, or yesterday when we drew to not yesterday, the day before when we drew to Manchester United. I said, listen, my mate, enjoy your 5 seconds of being first place because you're 3 seconds in. Oh, and that did last because Leicester are now top of the league after they beat Chelsea 2-0, and what a win that was. Listen, I had to get that saltiness out the way first. My team isn't really doing great on form, so I need to get any bit of happiness that I can, and Manchester United not being top of the table is something to be happy about. Let me tell you that, people, and let me tell you that for free. Make sure you smash the like, make sure you subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below, are you enjoying these Premier League videos? Because if so, I'll keep bringing them to you because the Redmond army is boss. But back to the game. What a game of football that was, mate. Leicester City, I don't know at what point Leicester deserve that respect to be talked about more, but Leicester deserve to be talked about more. They are a team with, in my opinion, agree, feel free to disagree because I don't know everything. I'm very stupid when it comes to many things in life, trust me. But I feel fairly confident in saying this Leicester team is much better than the Leicester team that won the league. Maybe not much better because, to be fair, that Leicester team had like a Riyad Mahrez in his prime and then N'Golo Kante in his prime. You know, they had some serious ballers as well. So I'm not trying to dispute how good that Leicester team was. But this one with a James Maddison, a Jamie Vardy, just want to basically try and mention, even though that one has a Jamie Vardy as well, you know, 2 Jamie Vardys. Which one was better? It doesn't matter. Basically what I'm trying to say is the depth of this Leicester team seems to be better. Even through injuries, it can cope. You know, it's still in a good position. It's maintained. And may I mention, they have got a better manager. Let's not dispute this, people. Brendan Rodgers is a much better manager than Claudio Ranieri. So right now, he's not just getting this team on a run of form based on morale, like what Ranieri was. Obviously, it has a bit to do with tactics, but Brendan Rodgers is influencing his team based on tactics, based on rotation. And it's working fantastically well. Don't get me wrong, he's had a few dips this season. Leicester have had a few dips, which is kind of questions their legitness. I think that's the right word to use. Yeah, legitness. About their, how their legitimacy. Let's say that about their position in the table in terms of maintaining in that top 4. Today was a big question for Leicester, and it was a big question for Chelsea because, Chelsea kind of look like they're going to be fighting for that top 4 spot this season, and we were talking about it in a Triple A video recently, but it's one of them things. If Chelsea don't get top 4, do you think Frank Lampard should be sacked? The answer to that question from me is yes, because he's gone out and spent 200 million, and even though it's slightly harsh with the fact he got top 4 last season, he's just gone out, bought Havertz, he's just bought Ziyech, he's just bought Werner. And even though that's not working out and it's not directly his fault, and I've said it for time, it's ridiculous to expect all these players to come in at once and fix a team. Because they're coming in at once. It takes time to gel in, but it's actually worse than what we all would have thought. And, Chelsea are not in a good position in the table, and this result does not help them. Even that result against Fulham, massive 3 points, great goal from Mason Mount, great performance from Mason Mount, but getting, that was a really needed result against Fulham. But what have Chelsea shown where they can now go on a run of form that gets them that top 4? Even though there's many teams in and out of form, and that's what Chelsea are holding on to. That's what Frank Lampard is holding on to. Let's be real, oh, just knocked me camera. Jesus Christ. Fat James, let alone Fat Frank. That being said, the question's got to be asked, and for me, I think he will probably be sacked if he doesn't get the top 4. And today doesn't help him. Leicester from minute 1, constant pressure, constant looking for any moment to find a little bit of a counter-attack if Chelsea decided to push forwards. And at a few times they did, to be fair to Chelsea. Reece James was fantastic. He looks really, really good. And I actually kind of get why Chelsea fans decide to troll me and be like, Reece James is better than Trent. On form, there's no comparison. Listen, who's a crack? Glenn Johnson, if he was playing right now, he'd be playing better than Trent. It's not really hard to be better than Trent Alexander-Arnold in current form, but Reece James, he was making some good runs. Don't get me wrong, he got beat once or twice defensively, but he's a young right back that is going to flourish, and he is going to become a much better player for sure. He was one of the standouts for Chelsea today. As for anyone else, the defence was just poor, people. That's all it is. Don't get me wrong, Thiago Silva has done a solid job since he came into that defence. But today, next to Rudiger, it just didn't work. They were getting passed about too much. Mark Albrighton for Leicester City. This is a player, and let me know if you're a Leicester fan, but I see Mark Albrighton, another player who was in the title-winning team, by the way. He's a player that, and even the commentators said it, he's always overlooked by a manager when a new manager comes in. So Ranieri was one of them, but obviously since then, when they've had a few chop and changes, now they've ended up with Brendan Rodgers. Since then, all them different managers that they've had have all kind of looked at Mark Albrighton, and over time, he's had to prove himself to the manager. And he's done that perfectly. He's done that again now. Today he has a great game. He probably might edge my man of the match. Even though you can't dispute performances from like Fofana, who's had a great season, but another fantastic game today. James Maddison, who got a great goal, but James Maddison doesn't get that goal without Mark Albrighton's absolutely exquisite pass. That was the second goal. If you're talking about the first goal, I think this was about 7 minutes in. Ndidi with a great left foot finish outside the box from a corner. Don't even get me started. I would love Ndidi at Liverpool. Why? Similar to many reasons to Fabinho. Very versatile, but also a very good player. So no matter what position you play him in, he's going to do a job. That's why I like Ndidi. I think he's a top-class player. And also, slightly underrated. I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. But that's just Leicester as a whole, isn't it? That's just Leicester City Football Club. To be top of the table in January is unheard of. And for Chelsea, to be fair, I don't know exactly where they are in the league. If I had to hazard a guess, I'm guessing they're around 10th. Maybe slightly higher. I'm sure I'm not wrong. Either too above or too low. But, you've still got to give Leicester the credit. Even though Chelsea aren't on form, on paper they've got better players than Leicester. But now we're realising this isn't just individuals when it comes to Leicester City. It's a team. Brendan Rodgers has assembled his own team. He's done it at Celtic. He's done what he needed to do at Celtic. Now he's doing what he needs to do at Leicester and more. Who's to say Leicester should be where they are? Who's to say? It's a completely different team to the one that won the league 5 years ago. So you might as well say he's just took over same old Leicester. The team that might stay in the Premier League. That might be competing for top half of the table. They're competing for top 4. Put some respect on their name. And do you know what? I don't give them more respect than Man United in the title race based on opposite reasons. Because even though I think they've got a much better manager than Manchester United, this being Leicester City, I don't think they've got the better individual players. That being said, if we're looking at Manchester United, I personally don't, but if we're looking at them as serious title contenders who can maintain that title challenge, then you've got to look at Leicester as the same. And surely that performance today tells you they controlled the game, people. And even though Chelsea had a few openings, they had a free kick that could have been a penalty, they had a disallowed goal from Timo Werner, Leicester were just too good. Mark Albrighton looked too good. Jamie Vardy even had a couple of chances where he could have came. Don't get me wrong, Jamie Vardy, he's just one of them. He's in and out of games, but it doesn't matter because the class that he shows. And the fact that at any given moment he can just pop up with a goal. And that's what teams need. That's what Liverpool need right now. So I'm looking at goal scorers and I'm thinking, yeah, that I just want you know what I mean? Even, I rate the fact that the fullbacks of Leicester City, Inkastan and Justin James, them two. Justin James, I said that right. I think I've said that. Is it Justin James? Reece Justin? No, I'm getting confused between Reece James and is it Justin James? You get who I mean? No, Justin. We're just going to call him Justin because I don't know if I've had a brain fart there. Either way, they're right back and left back. Them two can play both left back and right back. So we'll use Castan. He can play both left back and right back, even though he's right-footed. And same with Justin. We're just going to call him Justin because I'm having a bit of a brain fart right now. I think it's Justin James. But I don't know if I'm just calling him Justin James because of Reece James. Let me know in the comments down below, even though I'll know the answer by now. Still let me know in the comments down below. My football, punditry is boss, innit? I know the players' names and everything. You get the point that I'm trying to make. Either way, they're wing-backs. They can play both sides of the field. How many full-backs do you know can play both sides of the field to the point where the manager actually makes them play both sides? And what leads Brendan Rodgers to think, nah, I'm going to play Justin on the right today. A week later, I'm going to play him on the left. Oh, Christian, half-time switch. What leads a manager to feel the need to switch fullbacks? But I'm intrigued by it. I can't lie to you. Very, very intrigued. But what a win for Leicester. They are top of the league. It's no longer Manchester United. Laugh at me all you want because, yes, in current form, my team is shit. But I'm here to talk about the game that took place today. And there's positives to take even if you're a Liverpool fan. Boss, however, take Leicester more seriously, people. They've got a great squad there, great manager. Stopped out on Brendan Rodgers because I know he bottled it at Liverpool, but he's grown a lot since then, man. And I'm actually happy to see Brendan Rodgers do well. But let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know who your man of the match was. I'm going to edge you to Mark Albrighton. That being said, you've got to give a shout to a few other people. Like I said, Fofana had a brilliant game for me. But leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Smash a like, subscribe, join the Redmond's army, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, people.